Hello folks, this is Psycho Skipper Ed and my friend Paul here. We're back in Toronto at the Port Credit Yacht Club, my home club that I started out in. Just give you a little intro here. For those that might not be aware, I started out sailing out of Port Credit here on Black Diamond, 40-foot Chinook with my family 10 years ago when the kids were 4 and about 7 years old. And right away we sailed down to the Bahamas through the Abacos and Exumas and Eleuthra, Bimini, Nassau and so forth. At some point there, after sailing for about 7 years in the Bahamas, I sold the boat to this fine gentleman, Paul.
Fine gentleman.
Yeah, about 4 years ago actually.
Yeah, almost exactly to the day. That's
and
right.
We've developed a great friendship, and over the years we continued sailing together the last 4 years. Hey, Paul?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, the first sail we did was from Shelter Island, New York for 6.5 days on the ocean straight to Manowar Key in the Abacos, which is what we want to talk to you about today.
Yeah, when I sold the boat to Paul, we sailed down together offshore non-stop, and you'll find that video somewhere on our YouTube channel. And we came in through Manowar Cut,
yeah,
and
right.
Marsh Harbor and Hopetown and all those beautiful keys in the Abacos, and left the boat many years there in Manowar.
In Manowar Key, that's right.
In the hurricane hole with Buddy.
Yeah, Buddy Roberts and his wife. Yeah, and you saw the other video perhaps on YouTube of the escape from Dorian, and it literally was an escape. We left about 12 hours ahead of the storm, and as you know, we arrived safely in Miami. But now that we're back here in Toronto and we've had a chance to see the coverage along with all of you of what's happened in the Abacos, it's like nothing I've ever seen before. It is destroyed. Every picture we've seen of Manowar Key, Marsh Harbor, Hopetown, it's just unbelievable. It's 85 to 90% gone.
Yeah, it's very sad. I don't know how the people are going to even be able to rebuild. At this time, they're just in survival mode. They need food and water, and I know there's a number of rescue operations and humanitarian operations working there, and it's great to see all of that happening and the cruise ships getting involved. Right, Paul?
Yeah, but look, here's our thinking. A month from now, the world will have moved on. But the problem unfortunately, but the problem is that it's going to take years, if not a decade or more, to rebuild this place. And let's talk about Manowar Key, where the boat's been stored. Everyone's shown you the video from Marsh Harbor. Manowar Key is an island offshore from Marsh Harbor, where I think about 1,000 people, maybe 500 people live there, and they've been there and their ancestors for 200 years. Their livelihood is tourism, fishing, and building some of the best boats in the world, actually.
The
Albury yachts.
Ferries,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. And so, as Ed and I were thinking about it, and we reached out to several of our friends there just hours before the storm started, and they said they'd let us know how they came out the other side. We haven't heard from any of them, but we know from the pictures that everything's gone. And I'm thinking about Buddy and his wife who looked after the boat, Devin and Timmy, you know, the guys who cook at the Dock and Dine,
the Baca Burger.
Michelle and Ricardo, who work as the servers there, the ladies who sew at the Albury shop where they sell the Albury sailing bags.
Sail makers, yeah.
And the list goes on and on and on. And these are the folks that we're worried about and we know are going to need help.
Yeah, there's some people we also know in the mainland and Marsh Harbor.
Rinser, who drives the taxis, and then let's talk about
the young boy
Terrell. Yeah, he's a young kid who's had a rough start in life. He's dealing with a couple of exceptionalities. Learning's been a challenge for him. We've known him now for 4 years. Every time we're there with the boat, he comes and we pay him some money to help us clean it up. He's now got a job and he's working, and he was just settling down, and now the store where he works, which is Maxwell's, the only grocery store in the island.
Yeah, he's the bagger there.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It's gone. So
a lot of these people are going to have a hard time just making a living.
Yeah. So here's what we're thinking. We've set up a GoFundMe page. We want to go back in about a month to 6 weeks. We'll reach out to some of the senior folks who are the leaders on the island of Manowar Key in particular, like Grant Albury, who runs the ferry service back and forth, and the others. And we're just going to ask them what they still need at that point. The school will probably be desperate for supplies. There will be other things that are hard to get. This really is quite a remote place, and so we're going to take Black Diamond from Miami. We're going to provision it with what they need, and then we'll sail over. It'll take us 3 days.
We're not under any misconceptions here. You know, we're just a little boat and a couple guys. We're not going to do anything earth-shattering or change people's lives forever, but we do want to do something,
and we can help them out.
Yeah, and we do have a boat, and we can load it up with whatever they need at the time.
In fact, we're one of the few boats that can probably get in there, right? Given what the hurricane's done to them.
And you know, whatever little help we can give them, we'd like to do that. Paul and I are going to, you know, obviously use the boat, put some of our own money in, and anything that you folks are able to help out with, we'll just add to that. If we happen to raise more money, then we're able to load on the boat. We will be donating that to the humanitarian missions on the ground that can use it the most and the best.
Let's talk a little bit about what we'll do. We'll share with folks on the YouTube channel what the items of most need are. We'll share receipts with you to show you what
all
we
the purchases.
Purchased.
And we're going to
we'll validate the delivery of all this to the folks that need it most. So that's the best we can do, but that's something we want to do for at least a part of the world that I have grown to love over the last 4 years. My family loves it. We have friends there. This is an important thing.
Yeah, and I will be, as I always do, filming it and documenting it, and we'll be posting that at that time. Anything you can do to help us, on my YouTube channel, there's a top there called the community tab. If you click on there, you'll find a link to the GoFundMe page. And if you've already donated to the Bahamian humanitarian organizations, we thank you. If you're not able to leave a couple dollars, that's okay. If you can share this video or share our GoFundMe page, or even just share our YouTube channel, because until further notice, all revenue from the YouTube channel will be donated to the Bahamian Relief Fund as well. So there's, you know, 3 ways you can help out. They're not all monetary. We thank you very much, and
we appreciate your time, folks, and we'll keep you posted. Thanks.
Yep. Bye-bye.